Guys, if you've been a fan of my channel for a while, you know the love that I have for Ridge. Our collaboration with Ridge has been an awesome union, which has turned into a great friendship. So it should be no surprise that Ridge has leveled up once again. The best wallet that you can buy just got a little bit better. Ridge is now offering a limited edition Bad Guy Ink wallet. If you haven't tried the Ridge wallet yet, now's the time for you to change your pocket game. The Ridge wallet, it's light, sleek, industrial, and is now Bad Guy Ink inspired. Guys, it's a game changer. You're gonna love it. But if you don't, there is a 90-day free trial. These official Bad Guy Ink wallets are limited. Only 1,000 wallets will be made, and a percentage of the sales will go to Hire Heroes USA, an organization that helps military members, veterans, and military spouses to find new careers. So go to ridge.com to order yours today. Make sure you use the promo code Chael to get this special deal. All right, hey guys, let's get our guesses in real fast. Dana goes to a press conference. This is right after Max Holloway's fight on Saturday. It gets revealed to us that Benny Oliveira is off of the May 5th card. Dana says, nah, I'm not happy with the card the way it is. That was a big fight. I'm going to replace that fight, which is what we were all hoping to hear. Dana gave a little bit of speculation, right? He was playing this pretty close. He said, I'm going to get this done Monday. So I got a race here. I got to get this turned around and get this out because let's get our guesses in. What's it going to be? As Dana said, and I quote Dana, we will have that buttoned up by Monday. The reporter then asked a question about Gilbert Burns. And Dana, hey, is Gilbert going to be part of this? Dana said, Gilbert is lighting me up. He was lighting me up all night long. So yeah, probably. Well, that's a really big clue. What do you mean? What do you mean? Yeah, probably. Yeah, probably. I think we just committed one half of this fight. So the question becomes, who could it be against? Rakhmonov seems to be the answer, at least the internet sites that I go to. I don't agree. I don't think it is. Now, let me get you to where I want to go, but let me take a journey. Okay, let me go the long way. I think that the rumor of Rakhmonov and Belal was never true. I think Ian Parker was right that it was Kamaru Usman hungry, wanting back in, and that he was going to get matched up with Belal. I have no evidence. I have no proof. But I do have some reasons that I think that. One example would be when it gets revealed to us that the fight they're working on at 170 that we all want to hear about is one half Belal. And it's like, well, wait a minute. Belal will be the A side if he was taking on Rakhmonov. Like, Belal isn't that's the name that you would reserve, not the name that you would lead with. Then Ian Parker comes out with a story. He's one of the ones that influenced me. But then Belal Muhammad put something out that was like a side-by-side with Kamaru Usman. Now, I'm highly curious in that because everything's on the table for Kamaru Usman, of which we would fully support. But that includes retirement. If Kamaru said, hey, man, I had a great run. Yes, you sure as hell did. Right, we move him right over into commentating. Maybe he'll even get into some kind of coaching, and we'll have that door open for the Hall of Fame for him, right? If that's what he wants to do. But if he's hungry and he's chomping at a bit, right? The guy in Colby that he's had success with twice is about to fight for a world title and is currently the favorite to win the title. I mean, where's Kamaru? We don't know. We don't know. But it sure would be interesting, and we sure would get behind it. Now, as it pertains to Gilbert Burns, is Gilbert going in on May 5th? According to Dana, yeah, probably. Okay, great. I gotta go with that then. Question would be who, and the belief is Rakhmonov. I don't think so. I think it's Muhammad. I think it's Belal. I mean, I'm just putting a guess in, right? I haven't asked any of these guys. I'm just putting a guess in. You want to know what? We would love to see Rakhmonov, correct? Like, do anything. We like Rakhmonov, correct? 16-0 and 16 finishes and 8 this way and 8 that way. But no, people don't know that. We do. We're the hardcores, we know. But people don't know that. If Dana is trying to solve what he views as a problem at missing this big fight, if he thinks it's just a problem for us, the loyal hardcores, that would work. But my guess, my assumption was that it was a little bit more about the little old lady in Iowa. That's an example they'll tell you in TV, right? A random fan that comes across something, you get their interest, they stick around and watch. They call it the little old lady in Iowa. I think you need a name. I think that's where Belal comes in. You also were talking about a level of courage. I mean, this would be a wonderful opportunity. If Rakhmonov gets called on and says yes, it'll be a wonderful opportunity for the UFC to test him. Is this a guy, is this a true partner, is it a true professional that's ready, that understands This is when we really need you. The rest of the time we have you. We need you. When we call you on short notice, I mean, it really would be interesting. I would have no problem with that. And I, knowing Gilbert well enough, he'll do either fight. But I still think it's Belal. I really do. And you do get rewarded massively for doing a favor. If you do a favor, you will get the favor. That would be huge. I mean, in all fairness, if Gilbert was to step in a month against the undefeated Rakhmonov and get a win, I do believe that he would then fight for a championship. And that would back us up twofold, which we've never been in that position. We've never been in that position where Colby's next, and then we know that Gilbert's next, and then, right, we've never done that. Never had two number ones. It's this guy and then it's this guy. Never. But it would be that difficult to deny him. And I'm just making a guess, right? I mean, we got to talk fast. Apparently, we're going to get this answer. When Dana was talking about this, though, it was very cool because he talked about other guys that wanted to stay busy. Other guys that were chomping at the bit and trying to stay active. And when you talk about Charles and Benny gave us a little bit of information. Benny doesn't do a lot of that. I love it when he does, and he's a lot better at media than he thinks he is. He's a lot more interesting than he thinks he is. But Benny came out and he said, I didn't really want to move the date with Oliveira. That's not really what I wanted to do. But they're only going to move it a month. And so I said to them, guys, this is the number one contenderships match. But if he doesn't show up, if he pulls out for any reason, I don't want to then move it again. I just want the title shot. And they said, you got it. And that seemed very fair and very reasonable by the UFC. And I cannot blame the UFC for wanting to make this match, right? They've promised it to the audience. And that's how Dana feels inside, that he's promised you guys something. You are willing to give up your time and your money to see it. He wants to do everything he can to bring you what he said that he would bring you, including making this deal with Benny, which Benny was right to ask for. The UFC was right to say yes to. Gives you a little bit of clarity. Still keeps Islam so he knows what's going on. And let's just imagine that Benny does win, by the way. One of the most interesting things about 2021, the way time goes on, 2021, I never got clarity on this, and I always wanted it, is when Dana shows up to the press conference talking about he's going to make Islam versus Benny. This was the night that Islam ended up fighting Bobby Green. So now, because Benny pulled out. So we go to the press conference, hey, are you going to make that fight? Put those two back together. And Dana said, well, I was going to, but Joe Rogan just grabbed me in the back and said, don't make that fight. I just want to know why. I've always wanted to know why. And I've actually been surprised that you guys didn't want to know. I thought that would be a why. We've never been told. And how often does that happen? How often does Joe Rogan influence Dana and matchmake? One of those things. Why did Joe not want them to fight? Or was it just he didn't want them to fight then? He thought that should be saved until there was a world championship. Maybe. Be completely open to that, but I am curious. So hopefully, right, as news is going around, as some information is coming in, maybe we get all these things cleared up. But I do like to bring this to your guys' attention because I think guys with that attitude deserve credit. I mean, I will tell you, I'm at a level of frustration with what I'm going to call credit, but how little of it Gilbert gets. If everyone in this sport was like Gilbert Burns, he is quite possibly the best leader the locker rooms have, but I don't hear him getting talked about that way. And I think that he should. His willingness, the fact that he wants to go to work, he's a prize fighter. It looks like there's going to be a prize. They're going to find somebody opposite him. If I was to make my guess, I think it's going to be Belal. And I do think that will then be a number one contenders match. But I'd have to say the same thing about Rakhmonov. If he was to come in, I think that match becomes your number one contenders match. And all of a sudden, whoever's not part of that is the odd man out. And one of the smartest guys out there at understanding these things is Muhammad. And I don't think that odd man out, I don't think he's going to allow it to be him.